Hare Krishna, welcome you all to the Bhakti Sadachar course, week 1. Okay. We have to continue with this problem still existing. Okay, we'll start with the prayers. Om Ajnanati Mirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaya Kadamahyam Dadanti Swapadantikam Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pashatadeshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gaura Hari Bo Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. My screen is not visible. I have to make it. I hope my screen is visible now to all. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, visible.
Yeah.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes.
Slide share more somehow it is showing the screen is paused and all. Sorry for the inconvenience. Yeah. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I am Dr. Ratna Gosai. I'll be your teacher for Bhakti Sadachar course. So we'll have a long journey about 18 to 20 weeks. We'll know about the Vaishnava culture, various ethics, what are do's and don'ts, and how we have to follow the rules and regulation to get progress in our bhakti. So any doubts, all you people are free to ask me. Okay. We'll start with today's session. The chapter 1, the principles and application of the Vaishnava culture, what exactly it is. We will start. Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So there's a picture where you are seeing Srila Prabhupada along with his devotees, mostly who are a mixture of all across the globe. And everybody is in a spiritual ecstasy and enjoying the kirtan and the walk. And you can see some people are doing the dance also at the end. So how to get into that ecstatic mode? Being a Vaishnava, we will come to know week by week. So my class will be scheduled on Tuesday, 8 p.m. every week. So anything you can related to Vaishnava culture, you can ask me. Okay. So it will be more of like a interactive session. I just don't want to continuously say what exactly is there in the PPT slide and all. I wanted an active participation from all the devotees. Okay, Hare Krishna. The Vaishnava culture course and whatever we are learning in this classroom, mainly based on the teachings of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya of International Society of Krishna Consciousness. So Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As I said to you, the lesson number 1 is principles and applications. So what exactly is a Vaishnava culture? So yeah. What exactly is a culture? Anybody from the audience? Whenever we come across people, then we say it is not in our culture, we will not do it. It is not. Our parents will taunt us if we do something, then they say, no, it is not in our culture, you should not do it. And some people will say, yes, some ceremonies and all those things, they say it is in our culture, we have to do like this. And what exactly it is? So a set of rules and regulation which is framed for that particular group of people who are there, isn't it? So likewise, we have a worldwide around 7,000 cultures, and narrowed down to our Vedic culture, which is only again 1,700. And in that again, narrowed down to spiritual culture, it is only 500. And in that again, if you narrow down to Brahmanical culture, so it is 430. And in that again, you narrow down to Bhakti culture, it is 190. And in that again, the Vaishnava culture is only 90. So the number is very, very less when you come from top to bottom. Okay. So worldwide, very few set of devotees who are there who actually practices Vaishnava culture. And we, ISKCON, as a society, spread across the different nations, we follow it diligently. Okay, what exactly is this Vaishnava culture? What includes in this? What are the do's and don'ts? What makes us a true Vaishnava? And why you need to be a true Vaishnava? It's all important for us to progress in a bhakti. Okay. So coming to our next slide. Yeah. Culture, actually, it is been termed from the Latin word colere. And so it tends the earth and grow and the cultivate and nurture. Say suppose if we are living in one coastal area, so we adapt to that. If we are living in a hilly area, you adapt to that. So different geographical places has different, and different communities have different culture. Likewise, it is just a convenience to communicate with each other and make ease to work among the group. So to maintain the harmony among the group. See, in a culture, we all get united, isn't it? If we have any festival, we all get united and become one to celebrate that festival to the maximum, isn't it? Somebody will take up the job of putting rangoli, some will decorate the deities, some will do decoration of the temple, some will do the prasadam. So different, various sevas are there, you know. If there is a culture, there is a structured culture, and there's a structured way how to go about with that, then it becomes easy. Okay. Similarly, what is this Vaishnava culture? Why are we concerned about this Vaishnava culture when there are so many other cultures? Because, you know, I think you might have understood the basics in level 1 class. You know, the highest yoga of all is what? Which yoga will take us to the God? Anybody from the group?
Bhakti Yoga.
Yeah.
Bhakti Yoga.
Yeah, Bhakti Yoga. So, to cultivate Bhakti Yoga, what exactly we have to follow? If we follow any other culture, will we go? Or is it necessary to have a certain way? Say, suppose if somebody wanted to graduate from a law college or a medical college or engineering college or some other this thing, they need to go through a stream, isn't it? To get graduated from that particular stream so that they can practice out. Similarly, if you have chosen the path of bhakti and you wanted to come out successfully out of that, then Vaishnava culture is the one which will aid you, you know, to follow that rules and regulations which is required for you to graduate from that particular Bhakti Yoga. Okay. So there's a much depth to it. So the beginning, and you need to practice yourself. Sometimes you fall down again, you have to get up, and you need to continuously keep up consistent efforts to push your bhakti further. Okay. So the Vaishnava culture, the way of life, how do Vaishnava look like? So anybody from the group, they can say, how do you identify a Vaishnava in a group? Hare Krishna.
By the tilak.
Yes. Yeah. Others also please respond.
I think through the dress,
Yeah.
dhoti and
Yeah. Tulsi Mala. Yes, somebody messaged in the top. Neha Mataji, she has replied in the chat box. The dress which we wear, isn't it? The practices, the chanting and all, reading the Bhagavad Gita scriptures. So many things to that. The main thing is that the dress and the tilaka will represent our true identity, isn't it? Okay. So the main aim of this course is to cultivate the aspects of the Vaishnava way of life as presented in teachings of Srila Prabhupada throughout the ISKCON communities. Okay. Yeah. Can somebody please read it out, like what exactly is there in this slide?
May I, Mataji?
Yes, please.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Vaishnava culture ko
Vaishnava.
Okay. Vaishnava culture course. It includes principles, formal venues, cleanliness, prasada seva, Vaishnava dress, and formal association.
Yeah, we have got Hare Krishna. Certain principles which are laid down to be a true Vaishnava, and the formal venues are the temples and the congregational meetings. Cleanliness within the body, outside the body, and in the premises in which we are there. Prasada Seva is the offered prasadam to the Lord. And Vaishnava dress is the ethic by which you associate with other Vaishnavas. And the formal association is all devotee association. These are the must for one to progress in the Bhakti. Okay. Yeah. Actually, we've got a course in Mayapur Institute also where they give you certificate, something like this. It looks like this. The certificate is awarded to so and so who has done this course and all. So that means he has learned that course. So you're all fortunate enough. You need not go to Mayapur. So Namanishdas Prabhuji has arranged a Vaishnava culture course for all of you. Okay. So we should all be grateful to Lord Krishna who has given this arrangement, knowing about the Vaishnava culture sitting at a home. Okay. Yeah. So what is Srila Prabhupada is saying on the classroom norms? Okay. Yeah. Hare Krishna, somebody please volunteer to read this.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Murli Prabhu, please.
Just like if you enter into any educational institution, if you don't surrender yourself to the rules and regulations of the institution, how can you get advantage of the knowledge imparted by the institution? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So you all know, once we take an admission into any of the college or the school, we should abide by the school rules and regulations which are laid down by that particular institute. If you don't abide by that, then it becomes difficult, isn't it? Similarly, so keep your mind open to learn. So it's just a casual way of learning. So we are interactive way of learning. Don't take things too hard. So we will keep your mind open to whatever is being taught in the classroom because it's all for your benefit. Okay. Should have that motto. Yes, I have entered here to have taken this course to learn something. So automatically, at least little will go into your mind. Okay. Yeah. Somebody please volunteer. Kanchan Mataji, you raised your hand. Please read it, ma.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Everywhere, wherever you want to receive something, you have to be controlled or you have to be surrendered to the rules and regulations. If you do not follow the rules and regulations of this class, it is not possible to receive the knowledge. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So I think it is true, no? We have to follow the rules. If we are not following, then definitely it will not go with the prescribed way. Say any activity, whether it's a cooking or driving or crossing the road, we have to follow the rules. Then it goes in a regulated way. So similarly, this also, please try to follow what exactly is being told step by step. Okay. Anybody has an experience of reading or reciting these slokas? स्मार्तव्यो सतताविन्यो विस्मार्तव्यो न जातु चेत् सर्वे विधीन् निनेधोष्योर् एतोर् एव कीकरौ. So Lord Krishna is should always be remembered and never forgotten at any point of time because he is a seed-giving father. He is father for all of us. And all the rules and prohibitions which are mentioned in the Shastras are the servants of those two principles. Okay. Now, whatever we are doing, it is just to revoke our relationship with Lord Krishna. Okay. Somewhere we have forgotten that if we are in that, it's well and good. But somewhere if the relationship is not, we should use this to establish a relationship with Lord Krishna. So the conclusion is that one must act in such a way that he is always remember Krishna. That means engaging all your senses in the service of the Lord, seeing the deities, clapping the hands, doing the parikrama with your legs, and surrendering your heart and soul to Lord Krishna. Okay. So one should always refrain from doing the things that makes him forget Krishna. That means never try to be tamasic and rajasic, because those two moods, if you are there, then definitely your mind will be diverted towards that, and you will not be able to do any justice to. That means you won't do any justice to yourself. You will not be there in the mode of a goodness, and if you're not there in the mode of a goodness, you cannot be in a Shuddha Sattva Guna, and it becomes difficult for you to progress in a Bhakti. So these two principles were the basic backgrounds of Krishna consciousness. Okay. Yeah. Somebody please volunteer to read this.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please.
Essence of Vaishnava culture. Just like these European and American students, sometimes they cannot adopt the principles of sadachara as it is recommended. But that doesn't matter because they have sacrificed their life for Krishna. They are sadhu, they should be given the respect of a sadhu because they have no other business than Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yeah, so this European and American students, why Srila Prabhupada is mentioning about them is that we are born in an Indian subcontinent. We know what actually is Hinduism, what are the culture here, like how basic a Brahmana should dress up and what are his day-to-day activities. We have certain background about it, isn't it? But do Europeans and Americans have any knowledge about our Indian culture? No. But they are so much inspired by Srila Prabhupada, his teachings and the way he was, and they have sacrificed everything for the Krishna and they are liberated also. So they should be given utmost respect of a sadhu because they have no other business other than being in a Krishna consciousness. We should never try to do that Vaishnava aparadha or of looking down upon the Western sadhus. Okay. So this particular slide is saying about the time and place. Okay. So Bhishma Deva received and welcomed all the great and powerful Anis who were assembled here, for he knew perfectly all the religious principles according to time and place. So can somebody say this scene is taken from which part of the war? So after the Mahabharata war, he'll be put down on this bed of arrows on 11th day, isn't it? And after the war is finished on 18th day, he will impart all the administration, military knowledge, and what all is required to be a good administrator to Yudhishthira. Okay. And he has that boon to leave his material body according to his will, a time. So he'll be leaving his material body on a Bhishma, what do you say? Ashtami, in the Uttarayanam, in the morning hours. Okay, he has got that boon. After he has done teaching them what all is required to be a good king and all, then he leaves his material body in front of Lord Krishna. So it's so fortunate, isn't it? So expert religionists know perfectly well how to adjust religious principles in terms of time and place. All the great acharyas or religious preachers or reformers of the world executed the mission by adjustment of religious principles in terms of time and place. See, we cannot do the things as per our wish and will. So if you have to attend a Mangalarati, definitely it will be there in the early morning. If you have to do a japa, there is a specific timing for that. So every activity in our Vaishnava culture, as per the ISKCON principle, it is scheduled the day long in a specific manner. So we have to diligently follow that rules and regulations. We cannot go on our own. Okay. There are different climates across the globes and situations in different parts of the world, isn't it? But it should be uniform. As I think if you remember the first slide, what I have shown you is Srila Prabhupada with all his Western devotees, where you have all Indian, Western, and Middle East. So many people are missed. So though they belong to different climatic conditions in different parts of the world, but everybody is in a uniform Vaishnava attire, isn't it? So when it comes to discharging the duty to the Lord Krishna, so the rules are same. So he should be expertise in adjusting his things in terms of a time and a place. So one has to consider the particular time, country, convenience, which is convenient in India may not be convenient in Western population. But those who are not actually in a line of acharyas or who have personally no knowledge about how to act in the role of acharya unnecessarily criticize his activities of ISKCON movement in countries outside of India. See, I think if you remember in a level 1 class of Bhagavad Gita, see, disciplinic succession is must, and it is also emphasized in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Once the disciplinic succession is lost, then you'll have a rise in irreligion, lot of adharma, and things are not in harmony. So to establish that, you need a acharya, that is, who is from the line of discipline and parampara guru, and take the teaching from him, because he is coming from a learned person. Then he is a learned person. How can I say? You say, suppose if you plant a tree, okay, a good plant will give a good yield. If it is a defective one, it will not be able to give a good yield, isn't it? Similarly, the persons, if you are associating with a proper person, that person will definitely going to benefit you. But if you are associated with the faulty people like Dhongi Babas and Sadhus and all those things, they will not simply waste your time and greedy, and so many other things to speak of. So it's unnecessary waste of time. So people who don't know about because as we have discussed in our second slide, so Vaishnava culture is very limited, only very limited people can do this. The rest of the people, you have seen Brahmanical culture, you got the cultures which are in a bigger number than the Vaishnava culture. So those people who really don't have any knowledge about this Vaishnava culture will try to comment on it. But we should ignore that, because our only purpose is Bhakti Yoga and we wanted to progress in a Bhakti. So we should always see that we progress properly in a Bhakti by following a Acharya, because he is the one who is going to help us. See, once we have taken an admission in a college or a school, we follow the teacher diligently, isn't it? Because they are going to guide us. Similarly, once we have taken up Bhakti Yoga is a final destination, we should take help of a Acharya. He is going to help us to move forwardly in this moment. Yeah, the fact is such that critics cannot do anything personally, but they try to obstruct you and your path. See, a second wasted is wasted, you cannot get it back. And there are many people, once you're in a path of goodness, many people who try to obstruct your way, speak something on, and just ignore it. It's a part of a process. After a certain time, nobody is going to bother you. It will come only in the beginning. Okay. So if someone does go and preach, taking all risk of following all consideration for time and place, it might be that there are changes in the manner of worship, but that's not at all faulty according to the Shastra. So if we take an example of Srila Prabhupada himself, when he moved to the New York, so, he was the only Vaishnava there, and he didn't had a proper place to stay. And he was, a family offered him a place, and that is where they are meat eating people. He didn't have a proper kitchen to cook for the deities and all. And he's living with an all known Vaishnavas who don't have any idea about it. But still, there was some amount of inconvenience, and the temperature there was not so as humid as Indian weather, but still he has adjusted himself so much to that. And slowly, what miracle he has done, and he's gifted this wonderful organization of ISKCON, and we are all benefited out of it, isn't it? So whatever some adjustments happens according to the time and place, such that when we go to another Western world or any other part of the world and all, some amount of adjustment come that doesn't comes under the faulty things. So it is a adjustment. But if you are continuously there and trying to do the same thing, even though we have settled on, then it comes to a faulty. So we should see that one or few days adjustment is okay, but it should not go continuously, and it is not said to be an offense. Yeah. So here there are two words, agraha and agraha. Okay. So agraha means eagerness to accept whatever the guru says, and agraha means failure to accept. That means you are totally angry and you're not accepting the other's point of view. So a simple word changes the whole meaning. Okay. So by the addition of either these two words, the word niyama, the rules and regulations, and other word niyamagraha formed. So whatever the rules and regulations required for Vaishnava ethic and the eagerness to accept that are framed as per that, and we should never try. So agra is again, it's a Rajasic and Tamasic. The same thing is being told here. Yeah. Yeah. Here is a skit, this we have to perform, but we'll do it later. Okay. This regarding the over attachment to Shastric rules related to Vaishnava culture, expense of preaching, neglecting Shastric rules related to Vaishnava culture, which can be conveniently followed. So we have to do it, but later, end of the course, we will do this skit and all. Okay. And yeah, liberal versus conservative. I have to propagate this mission. So here Srila Prabhupada is saying this, what mission? The Krishna consciousness mission, his guru, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur has given him. Go and spread this message of a word across the Western population, because we all follow the Western population, isn't it? Yoga is famous in West. We wanted to do the something is in fashion in the West. We wanted to do pizza and burger are fashion in the West. We wanted to do that. There's a lot of Western influences there. So similarly, we Indians, whatever we are rich with, born with a rich culture and all, but sometimes we are not that eagerly open to accept it. So that is one point. But otherwise also, they were like, they don't have any parental support, and what all is required, like how India, we are all pampered, and we got a good family system, parental support and mentorship and all those things. There you don't find that. And they were so much fascinated by the way Srila Prabhupada has taken care of all those things. And he says, like, I'm not so much attached to the rules and regulations. So the main thing is that in the process of becoming a true Vaishnava, certain things you have to adjust. Some things are to your favor, some things are not to your favor. But here Srila Prabhupada is only interested in preaching the knowledge about Lord Krishna. So therefore, this Niyamagraha, that is also against the Krishna consciousness. So Niyamagraha means when you're in a quite convenient position, if you do not observe the rules and regulation, that is also against Krishna consciousness. So that's what. Sometime it's okay, but if you are conveniently placed, if you're not following that, then it is said to be an offense. Okay. It's a characteristic of a devotee, to observe and protect the Vaishnava ethic and maintenance of Vaishnava ethic. Why it is important? Say, suppose if one of you, Prabhujis, are going for a book distribution, if you are in your trousers and shirt and you offer a Bhagavad Gita to somebody, will they take? Because they don't get that feel of being a Vaishnava, isn't it? But if you are nicely wearing a dhoti as well as a shirt, white shirt, and wearing the neck beads and having a tulsi, tulsi beads in your neck, and the chanting bag in your neck, and putting the tilaka, then it gives a nice indication and that you're a true Vaishnava, and make them inspired to be like you. So we have to live a life of an example rather. Otherwise it becomes difficult for us to convince the people also, and it helps us more than the other. But the basic ethic, which is whenever we are going on a the activities, the temple activities and the spiritual activity, it is utmost important for us to maintain the ethic. Okay. So by maintaining the ethic, we ourselves will feel so relaxed, yes, I am representing the ISKCON, and I am dressed as per that. Okay. So therefore, we are endeavoring to create some ideal men, so Krishna conscious men, by being in this typical Vaishnava attire. So they know there are certain characters and the behavior, the ideal aim of life. So we should live our life in such a way so that others feel inspired to live our life. So those who have taken Krishna consciousness seriously, they should be an ideal man. Okay. And unless you don't fit into that, don't try to be. That's what Srila Prabhupada is saying. So the society will be benefited at least by seeing your behavior. Okay. We should mold a behavior in such a way that everybody is benefited out of it. Okay. The Krishna conscious movement is through music. The Mangalarti about a nice bhajan kirtan at the early morning. So all energies are at the peak, and we get to dance, listen to the music, and sing the Samsara Davanala in a core, isn't it? And there is the spiritual culture, the philosophy, and the personal behavior culminating in ideal. So that means attending the aarti, singing the song, attending Narsimati, doing the Tulsi Puja, all these things, the routine will shape you as a person. So these are all combined together will definitely over a period of time going to bring a major change in not only the Western population, but whosoever follow this strictly. Okay. So here Srila Prabhupada is just making them read, how many translations his books have been done across all the languages which are there in the globe, and so many books to his credit. Until today, BBT books distribution is the highest in the American societies, and many people are benefited out of it. So apart from Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, there are many, many small books, which will tell you about life after life, the Kunti prayers, and about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Many books are there. In every book, if you read, you'll get a feel of Srila Prabhupada is just sitting in front of you, and he's explaining you like how he's explaining to this the devotee who is sitting next to Srila Prabhupada. So such a rich culture he has given us and we are benefited out of it, isn't it? He left his material body so long, but he left us with lot of a treasure, treasure of books. You need not carry the physical books. If you have a smartphone nowadays, if you have that app of vedabase.io, you can just log in and you can read whichever book you want in whichever language you want, and you'll be benefited out of it. So such a rich culture we have got, and it's always better the early you realize to continue in Bhakti Yoga and you take up this Vaishnava culture, then you will be benefited eventually. So you should all feel blessed to be in this course and learning about it. And thanks to our temple president, Amanishdas Prabhuji, who despite having a very, very busy schedule, has created this course, especially, we have got level 1. Previously, we used to have a Bhakti Vriksha and Bhakti Shastri and all those things. Then they say no question and answers, no a quiz, and it should be a simple Vaishnava ethic course, the Vaishnava culture course where people will be learning about it. It's created this, and we'll be all be benefited out of this course. So this is all for today, and we'll meet up next week. Any questions? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Any questions? Any doubts?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Can we get the recording also for listening to this again and again?
Yes, I'll share it in the group because it's going live, no, in the Science and Spirituality channel. I'll share it in the group.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Beautifully explained, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. Anything you can ask, any doubt, whatever. It's nothing like it's a just interaction session. You can ask what is this regarding chanting, regarding reading books, what is vedabase.io. So anybody ever registered in that vedabase.io? Did you happen to read anything?
I read Mataji. I did L1 and L2 from Mangalore only.
Okay.
I happened to read.
Nice.
Mataji, I started reading recently from that.
Very nice. It's nice, no? Wherever you are there, rather than just wasting your time, you can just open the app and read anything of your.
Mataji, you will cover also something on humility part in sadachar course. Is it?
Eventually it will come because we are there for 18 to 20 weeks, So it will come step by step.
Mataji, is there an app of vedabase.io?
Not app, actually, directly from the Google, you can open it and you can read it.
Yeah, Mataji. Okay, thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Any doubts?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Can you explain about the app once more, Mataji? Hare Krishna.
It's not an app actually. It is, you have to Google it, vedabase.io.
Okay.
You have to just put it in a chat box. And once you type that, then it will ask you for the login. Then you can log in with your mail, Gmail or FB, I think. Then once it is there, then it will give you where exactly what you are reading, your reading history. You have got an advanced view also in that, bi-language view, everything. It's very user-friendly app. Okay. We have got all pictures, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam and all those.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
I have a
Krishna.
question. Mataji, do you have the contents for this class? Like what will be covered in the next 16, 18 weeks?
Yes, we have, but let it be a surprise.
Okay.
Because this is not a serious class, like serious in the sense, not like your level 1.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think now today is an introduction class. Is it what exactly we are going to study the coming course and all? Like I will tell you, because one more batch I am doing on a Monday evening 8 p.m. with the same link and all. So there I'm in a 6th week, I think. So 1 week we are speaking only about the Vaishnava dress, 1 week only about the food, what we are offering to the Lord and having it. 1 week exactly about the tilaka and the places where we put the tilaka and all. So like that, step by step, what is required for a true Vaishnava, which have been discussed. And we've got certain prayers from Srimad Bhagavatam, like Kunti prayers and all. And certain stories are there. So it's interesting.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you.
Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Darshana Mataji. Yes, it is a 18 to 20 weeks course, Mataji. And it will be by 8 p.m. because this is the only time I am free to take the class. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, if there are no more questions, we'll end the session for today and we'll meet up next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Okay. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna. Thank you one and all.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji.